Welcome back, everybody. This is the copper setup that we did in the last episode, alright? And I kind of wanted to duplicate this for iron, at least something pretty similar. So I found a spot where, you know, most of the iron is centrally located, and I routed it all in. Oh, also, I finished up the copper. I made a couple of adjustments. I think in the end of the last episode, I thought that it would be a good idea to route all the ingots up here and build a scaffolding platform to start processing all the ingots up here, and that's what I did. This is going to sort the final polished jewels out of this line and then send them wherever. I don't know yet, but they'll come out here. Probably use that line to run back up to the towards the sell point, the hopper here. But there's a couple of things I need to unlock. So this is my iron. You know, this is where most of the iron in the game is in the starting area. And I've kind of routed it all together into one belt, all the iron from this room, and I've never even used this node right here. But anyways, I've got all the iron in this room, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nodes. Some of it's copper, most of it is iron, and you know what? I forgot about this one up here. There's an 8th one up here. Gosh, man, I gotta route more. But anyways, it's actually more than I think the machine can handle. So there's like 7 there. Plus I've got one back here. Hang on, there's a trick to getting up here. I can do it. There we go. There's one back here in this corner. So that's 8 iron nodes. And then there is more back here. So all that iron is going to be coming down this conveyor belt. Way back here. Every bit of it. Like, this is almost all the iron in the game. There is, like, one iron node, but it's got gold mixed in it up here. Actually, I think there's 2. This one's got... Oh, let me turn on my HUD here. Yeah, iron and gold, so that would kind of be a trick to sort that out. And then this one's got iron in here. I haven't decided the best way to do that. Probably have to use, you know, route those 2 up here and drop them down this hole. And since there's not any vertical conveyors, it would literally just drop down this hole. The idea is that I hope that most of it would land on this, but with this board in the way, it probably won't. A lot of it will probably spill onto the floor. I don't know. I'll have to come up with a solution for that. But back here, there's even more iron. There's 3 more nodes of iron back here. I can turn that HUD off now, I guess. Yeah, 3 more nodes of iron back here. Plus, there's more. There is 2 more. There are 2 more iron nodes back here. So I think in total that's 11 or 12, and I don't even have them all hooked up. Which is probably going to be... I'm going to get stuck right here. Gotta crouch. There we go. It's probably going to be more than my setup can handle. So we may adjust. In fact, I've got some ideas on how to redo some of this already, even though it's technically not finished. It's finished, but it's not finished. Like, I haven't turned it on and tested it. So every bit, and I'm afraid it's going to overrun a lot of things, but every bit of the iron is going to come right in this central focal point, right here, shove through this one sorter. This sorter is going to pull gemstones out, avoid the crusher. And I really kind of like these walled belts. They really give it the look, these walled conveyor belts. I really like it. And then everything is going to dump into 2 wash plants. I decided to do it right after the crusher this time instead of doing it later. I just, you know, thought it might be a better design. And so I'm dumping it through one wash plant, dropping it straight into another wash plant. I keep calling them wash plants. I'm sorry. I know they're called shaker tables. Sorry. And then... it's just a habit. That's just what I think they are. They look like a wash plant to me. But anyways, and then they're going to come up into this sorter that is essentially exactly the same as we did the copper. I keep wanting to call it coal for some reason. It's exactly the same way we did the copper in the last episode. Now, it is really cramped in this little pit, so I had to utilize every square meter I had down here, you know. Every little bit of space I could, I utilized it. So it's all going to dump into these 2 hoppers, and be smelting into a lot of iron ingots. And then all that's going to run into this conveyor belt here, with any gemstones remaining should fall under the same conveyor belt, run up through here, and I need to get a spot for a polisher is the last thing I need. And I was thinking I could probably just put a polisher right here, polish everything, and then send it out. And we'll probably have to sort all that later once I find a spot where I can just, like, you know, set a sorter, shoot the gems off to where I want them to go, send the ingots off to where I want them to go. But so then all those ingots and gems are going to run back this way towards, this is where I had that gold deposits set up originally, back towards this area here. And I figured this would be a pretty good spot because I could route the gemstones, maybe even sort them up here and send them down the same line with the other gemstones, and then process everything up here, the iron and the copper, all up here on this platform, because we can build the scaffolding 4 or 5 more squares out that way, and probably a couple more squares out that way, and really take advantage of this space. And we still have some verticality if we need it to kind of squeeze in some machines. I was thinking, you know, I couldn't get it any lower. This is as low as I could get the platform, unfortunately, and cover the whole area. So I would have liked to have done it a little bit lower. There are certain spots where you could stick like 1 scaffolding or 2, but it wouldn't line up into a whole row. So I wanted it to all be one seamless platform up here. And so I figured I could put all of my processing machines up on here, process the iron, the copper, and then eventually the gold would all come up here and get processed as well. And I figured the gold, I was originally running it up here, you know, back to the main room, and there is still room right here. So we still have room to utilize right in this space. We could use the gold, turn the gold into ingots, process the gold right there. Maybe there'll be enough room right here to run the gold through this area, but I would like to try and get everything coming through as few belts as possible. That's my idea. Like, kind of increase the maximum throughput for one belt, kind of see if we can find the limit for it. So let me run around and turn on all those iron miners and see what it's going to look like when they're all running, how bad it's going to clog up, where the bottlenecks are, how horrible is it really going to be. Okay, first problem spotted. I'm going to have gold coming through this line. I forgot this one is producing iron and gold ore, so I need to put a sorter for pulling out the gold. Otherwise, it's just going to create a bunch of slag, which I guess is not a problem since I need some of it for that very bottom quest, Master of Slag. I do need a few more slag ingots and slag junk pipes and stuff, and some broken drill bits too. Speaking of broken drill bits, I should probably set up a couple of those faster miners just so I can get the broken drill bits. I did find quite a lot just running around up here. You know, I've explored the entire cave, and you know, there are several little broken drill bits here and there. All right, so there's our first emerald coming through. I need a diamond to put it in the sorter. I don't have a diamond yet. Let me put a lid on that before I forget and accidentally pick everything up, but that's that. Alright, so everything is coming through the crusher. It is working really well so far. This is the first time I've tested it, so and then it is going through the 2 wash plants, and I am seeing no coal coming out of that, so that's working well. The only thing is, I am not sorting oh my gosh, I am not sorting anything. So everything is just going to dump on the ground. Okay, pick 1 item up, Jimmy. Just 1. Come on. It's a little bit difficult. Alright, now, let's drop that in that basket. And pick 1 up. Grab it. Alright. Now we can get the smelters actually working. Drop that one in there. Now we should be getting ingots instead of just garbage, everything falling through. Alright, so I'm still going to have gold come through. I may not actually have to sort the gold yet. I may sort it afterwards. Pull the gold ingots out. Now let's see if this is going to overrun this setup. I have a feeling it is, but there's only one way to find out. And I was kind of concerned if this conveyor belt would work, and it appears to just barely be working, so... Oh, that's actually kind of nice. It turns them and everything. That's satisfying, actually, to watch those ingots turn. You know what? Actually, a polisher might... No, a polisher wouldn't work right there. I have to pull the ore out, that gold ore out, before I can polish them. But this is just a test of that everything's working. And it's not being overrun. I kind of figured... There's a diamond. There's a diamond. I need you, sir. Excuse me, polish... Come here, come here, come here, come here. I need you to go into the sorter so I don't lose any in the crusher. This one must have come through the wash plant and was produced by the coal. Yep, there's our first bottleneck. Okay, that's why it's not overrunning. Oh, gosh. That's why it's not overrunning the smelters down there. The blast furnaces. I just made up names for everything. The blast furnaces, I call smelters. I call the shaker tables, wash plants, whatever. I hope you guys can follow along. Yeah, this is gonna bottleneck really, really badly. So I'm wondering if a second sorter would be better, or... this is not gonna work. I gotta come up with a better plan. It's kind of funny to watch, though, but it's gonna just eventually get worse and worse and worse, isn't it? Ugh, okay. In the meantime, let's follow this to make sure this isn't screwed up too badly. I kind of like the two conveyor belts passing each other, like, you know, two trains in the night, zoom, 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 passing by each other. It's kind of cool. This little headache right there. Okay, and then everything's piling up here. I got a bunch of crap to clean up, but it is working. Okay, proof of concept is it's working, so let's just turn off all the miners, and I'll have to come up with a solution for that bottleneck there. But in the meantime, I've got several suggestions to check out a couple of the new conveyor belts by my good friend and gamer. So I've been putting it off. I kind of wanted to see what I could accomplish without these quote-unquote dev tools, but apparently they're so game-changing that I have to check them out. So here they are. Let's see. Oh, wait, I've got to unlock them first, right? Research the experimental developer test items. Now, these have got work in progress so written on them, so they're kind of, they could be janky, they could be great, I don't know. Resource scanner. Oh, that's kind of cool. Handheld tool that shows you the name of the thing you're looking at. That would have been useful much earlier in the game, actually. A packager, which packages objects into boxes. And a chest, work in progress. So what he was saying was in here is not in here. Maybe it's in the test items, in the test kit. Let's grab that. Let's unlock it. And then I assume I have to buy it like everything else. Yep, there it is. Okay, it's only $1,000. We'll buy that. And you can just buy chests. I found a couple of them. There's at least 2 of them I found in the game. Resource scanner packager. That sounds kind of interesting. Packages objects into boxes, which I think they've done something special for Christmas. They have an ore sled. I don't want to destroy it. Where's all my stuff? Hello? Oh, does it come down on an elevator now? That's kind of cool. I'll just pick it up. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to pick up all that other stuff, but... Okay. Hello? Where's the dev... Did I not buy it? Experimental test items. Purchase. And it's just this box. Okay, destroy it. Nothing happens. Okay, yeah, that's really work in progress. I don't know why that's not working, but... who knows? Who knows? They have probably changed things since he played it. I know he played it like a couple weeks ago and has already finished all the content in the game. So something has probably changed. since then. But he was telling me there's a conveyor belt, like a roller conveyor belt, and I see them down here, like in the thing. So they may have taken them out of the development tool. Like I think he was saying the roller converter. Oh, and it says work in progress. So maybe it just put it here, but I still can't unlock it. It says it's locked, so I'm wondering if it's under these roller conveyors I need to unlock. How many points? Oh, I've got 7 tickets. Might as well. Rolling conveyors, straight merge converters. Oh, gosh, I probably could have used that earlier to set things up. An ore overflow splitter. Now that I'm seeing that ore overflowing, I'm going to get that as well. And we might as well unlock some of these drill bits so that we can break a few of them. And I am out of tickets. Okay, one thing I wanted to get was this bigger deposit box. And I can't now because I just spent all my tickets. Crap. So the deposit box, this is where everything gets sold, a bigger one. It's $100,000, but it is also 1 research point. But I suppose we could wrap up one of these missions fairly quickly and get that extra research ticket and unlock that really quickly. That cart is kind of cool. I'm wondering if I can use it in... There are several places which I have now that I think about it, I have... Oh, that thing's glitchy. Which I have now covered up with tracks. Conveyor belts. But I think there is one working one somewhere in the game. Let's see, can you just, like, place it on this and, like, have it work? Would that be a thing? I can't pick it up. I can only destroy it. Like, you got to get right on the tracks. And it's not wanting to sit on them because the conveyor belt's in the way. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, we can fool with this guy later. And actually, I'm just going to get it out of my way for now. It's only $1,000, and I've got a lot. Money does not seem to be an issue in this game. You go back up there. Close these drawers. Let's see if we can play with some of these, what was, the conveyor belt? This new turbo drill bits. No, but we need to do that to get the last couple of ones. So let's unlock one of those at least. Well, I probably need to break a couple of them, so grab a couple of those. And then let's grab a couple of these roller conveyors here to see how they work at least. I can at least check them out. And this... what was that sorter? Ore overflow splitter. We'll grab that real quick, see how that's gonna work. Yep, we'll take these drill bits. Those are the new ones. They've actually added 2 new drill bits in one of the recent updates. One of them runs faster. So it is for the rapid auto miners, right? And it has the standard bit that runs for about 10 minutes. It has the turbo bit, which lasts for 2 minutes. And then there is a third bit that supposedly does not break. But I haven't even bothered with those the faster auto miners because I really don't need them. I have yet to max out everything and need them so far. I haven't... I guess I would have to design a whole new smelting system that would be twice as fast, maybe twice as much. But even with the standard miners, I'm able to overrun stuff as it is. As you guys saw, I'm able to overrun at least the sorting machine. Let's see if we can figure that out really quickly. I think that's like the first thing to tackle is this sorting machine. And if I can get it cleared out and working with this new sorter, then perhaps... Well, I guess it's not a sorter, right? It's going to bypass it, so I'll have to figure out exactly how this thing works. Let's get everything through that first. All right, now, where did it put it in? I've got so much stuff in my inventory now. There it is. Ore overflow splitter. A large walled splitter useful for splitting large quantities of ore. Okay, yep, makes sense. Sounds great. Let's try it out. So it is going to take the input and split it in 2 directions. Looks pretty simple, right? Only problem is it takes up a fair amount of space. And I got to figure out how to squeeze it into the rest of my setup here. That probably means that all of this right here needs to be reworked. I can do that really quickly. I should be using the little hammer. It is quicker to do that, but for just 2 or 3 conveyors, I find it's not really necessary. All right, pick these guys up. I want to save these. I don't know how a piece of iron ore got in there, but it did. It's probably on the ground, overflow from where it spilled out everywhere. Oops, I wanted to pick that up. Please take that. Thank you. All right, now let's test this guy out. It should split everything into 2 directions. I kind of want it like that. Yeah. That's going to be a tight fit to get it all into the crusher, but I think I can do it. I may have to figure this guy out, change that a bit, where the gems are going to process. That also means I've got to split the gems twice now. I got to sort the gems twice before they get into the crusher. Oh, man. But I guess this is the only way to do it. I gotta speed up the sorting. So I guess the idea is find the input. So the input would be right there. And then I want to figure out, okay, it has to go straight, and then the gems would have to go a different direction. I don't necessarily have to do the gems, do I? You think about this, because if I put ore in this, it would send the ore along this line, and I could drop that straight into the crusher with just a couple of 90s. Nah, it probably, I don't know, that probably would not be the best. Let me set another one down and see if what would work the best. So because it has to go, one line has to go straight out in that direction, and one line has to go either that way or that way. And I guess the end goal is to have one line go into the crusher and the other line avoid the crusher, right? So this is probably the shortest route, right? The cleanest, shortest route. Let me see. So I got one there and one there. Yeah, that's going to be the cleanest, shortest route. So the cleanest, shortest route to get into the crusher is going to be to do that. Put a merge right there. Do I have one? I think I do. Switch it to a merger. Yes. And that's going to dump all of our ore into the crusher. And then all of the gems can do something similar. Oh, set back those 90-degree belts like that. And then just send the gemstones. How to do this? I need him to go this way. Come on now. Work with me. Pick that guy up and then... Ooh. What about this? That works like that, right? For this side. That'll send all the gems like I had them. This one needs a little bit of tuning, though. I'll need to turn it, I guess, to drop where I want it. It's actually not too bad. If I just turn it like one 90 degree, a second 90 degree, and then take it straight. They should both dump down into that spot. Yeah. Yeah. That works. Now, I just need to replace some of these standard conveyor belts with the walled ones, because A, they look better, and B, it keeps things from spilling over the side. At least in theory it does. I don't know how well they work, but I think they look cool. They look better. Anyways, let's switch to that, like that. Oh yeah, that even lines up nicely. Okay, let's run around, turn everything back on. I'm gonna have to get some ore and/or gemstones to sort all of this out into these 2 baskets now, but this could work. I think this could handle the new increased output. Let's give it a shot. Let's go set everything up, get some ore, fill up these hoppers, these sorting baskets, and turn everything back on. Hey, fingers crossed, right? Okay. I think I've got these sorted out. I've essentially got a piece of gold, a piece of crushed gold, a piece of iron, a piece of crushed iron, a piece of coal, a piece of crushed coal in each one of these. So now, all of the ore and coal should run down this center chute into the crusher. We'll see if the crusher now becomes a bottleneck. And then all of the gems should run around each side, and I got these nice walled conveyors up. And the gems should fall down here and meet everything once it's all crushed. The gems should meet back up with them. I guess I could test that really quick. I got a couple of gems here. Oh, grab the right tool, Jimmy. Oh, magnet's a little... Ah, come on! Work with me now. Dropped in there. Let's run around and turn all these miners on now. I'm fairly certain that's going to work the way I want it to. Or they're just going to get stuck waiting for something to push them along the way. Okay. Let's see if something pushes them. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. It's still going to cause a bottleneck. Oh, there it goes. Okay, okay. Yep, okay, the gems went the correct way. Alright, perfect. That's working. Alright, now let's turn everything on and see what we got. Alright. Everything has caught up. All the belts have caught up, and I'm getting tons of production now. Now let's see if anything jams. It seems to be working well. I've been watching it, and the occasional piece gets stuck, and I was curious what would happen once all of it got here. And yeah, this is horrible. It wants to clog so bad. It's like right there in that lip. Things keep getting stuck right there where that piece of coal is where things keep getting... And it's stuck. I don't understand why, but with it getting stuck, it is causing everything else to jam up behind it. And I've seen a couple of pieces get stuck there. We saw the emerald get stuck there earlier, so... Okay, as long as nothing gets stuck right there, everything works well. So this is a work in progress piece, I guess, and it needs to be adjusted and tuned a little bit. But other than that, now that we've got two sorters, that's actually able to handle everything. Is once they iron this piece out right here to work a little smoother, this will be perfect. So all of our gems are being routed out to the outside, and then all of the coal, iron, and gold should be dropping down in the hopper, through the wash plant system, and then all the gemstones. Oh, I need to put basket tops on top of that. Do I have any more? I don't have any. I'm out. Okay. I'll need to remember to come back with some. Oh, no, I messed something up. Did I mess something up? I messed something up. I accidentally picked up a piece of iron ore. I must have done it with my... magnet tool there. That's why you put the lids on, kids. Alright, now everything is sorting into lots of ingots. Now let's check to see if this is going to get overrun. Now that the bottleneck is out of the way, is this... The other bottleneck is out of the way, is this going to be the new bottleneck? And it probably is. It probably is. We kind of knew that we were running the maximum, just about the maximum amount of ore I could run was about 10 miners worth. And I'm running 11, I think 11 or 12 now with this setup. So one side is getting overloaded, the other side is not. Well, if it's working right now, then I guess it's working, but something doesn't seem quite right. And there's something stuck in the floor right there. Can I pick it up? I don't want to use my magnet because I'll grab all kinds of stuff. Yeah, something's stuck in the floor. Oh well. I can fix that later. Yeah, okay, we got a serious issue here. Well, I guess when one side is getting clogged up, it is jamming up the whole works, isn't it? Ah, man. Alright, turn everything off again. And I wonder if it's just doing that because I did not have a piece of iron over here and it was all going to one side for so long. I'm wondering if that's the reason that it's doing that. But if I turn it off for a minute, can it catch back up? Boy, this is looking bad. I guess it doesn't really matter. This is why we test things, though. Alright, there is the last bit of ore coming through. It takes quite a while for it to all work through all the conveyor belts to get up here, and it is... I picked all the ore up and just kind of dumped it on the ground. I can sort it all, pick it all back up later. To try and see if it could catch back up, and it almost did, but not quite. It got close. See, it is jammed inside there, and nothing is feeding. Something is just jammed. There's so much stuff in there. Let me pick up... Wait a minute. Let me pick up everything that's not in the baskets and try and replace all this. I'm not sure where it's getting hung up. We're just trying to feed entirely too much ore into this system. How many physics objects? We've got 1,100 stuff laying on the ground. 1,100 items laying on the ground right now. And it's probably mostly... Well, there's a bunch of ore down there that spilled out. And then there's going to be all the crap at the end of this production line. So the game actually is not running lagging for me. The developers say that their internal testing shows that for most systems, about 2,000 items. Once you get about 2,000 items on the ground is where you're going to start experiencing some lag. So we're still good right now. I could let this run and spill all kinds of crap on the ground. We're good for a little while longer, but I should probably try and figure out what this bottleneck is, why things are getting stuck inside there. I've no idea why. See, right now it's only feeding... It's only feeding into that side. And now it's not feeding into either of them. Let me just grab all this stuff up off the ground and see if we can dump it in again and see if we can get it to unclog. I'm thinking just trying to force a bunch of stuff through there might unclog it, but... Now what? Alright, we're getting ingots on both sides again. There's probably just like one or two little pieces in there that are stuck. And I don't know why we didn't run into this in the last and the other setup, or if there's something that it doesn't like, or it's just overrun. Maybe it's just too many things for it to grab at once. That's probably it. It's probably just too much for this machine to handle. Yep, that's what it is. It's too much for it to handle. It's not that anything was necessarily jammed. It's more than the machine can handle simultaneously. So we probably need to back off a little bit. I think we figured out that like 10 resource nodes is about all we could run through this setup. So think about that a little bit. Now I wonder how many auto miners, like auto miners, but the rapid auto miners. Do I have one of those in my inventory? Yeah, the rapid auto miners. I wonder how many of those we could use and still fill the machine up. Probably 5? If they produce double. I don't think they produce quite double, especially now that they've tuned them with these new bits. So maybe 6 or 7 would probably be the maximum that this could handle. I could run around and test that, I guess. You know, we're learning a lot in this episode, I guess. Trying to figure out the maximums that everything can... The other option, I guess, would be to set up 2 of these. Like back to back. And that's possible, but not in this little tight hole that I've got. You know, if I just duplicated the same setup, just flipped it in reverse, there's just not enough space right here to do that, I don't think. I think that would work, right? If I just have 2 of these hoppers, yeah, that should work. But I just don't have the space here in this little tiny... This is the tiny cavern here. I'll have to think about that. There's certainly a way to do it. I just would have to think about it a while to come up with one. Let me know what you guys think, if we should keep this set up or maybe try the faster auto miners. It may simplify things. I may try that. But that's all the time we've got for today. This video's running a little bit long. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy this content. Let me know you want to see more. And hey, we'll see you on the next one.